It was one of those golden evenings in the city when everything seemed to glow with promise, except for Alina's patience. Her heels clicked sharply against the marble floor of the upscale cafe as she scanned the room, her eyes burning with anger and humiliation. She had just received a message that shattered her trust. Her boyfriend, the man she had supported for years, was cheating on her. The message said he was right here, in this very place, sitting casually as if nothing had happened. Her heart pounded, her chest tightened, and her vision blurred with emotion. She wasn't thinking clearly anymore. She was driven by betrayal. Then she saw him. A man sitting at a corner table, wearing a sleek suit, his posture confident, his face partially turned away. He looked exactly like the man from the picture she had just seen. Without hesitation, without even a second thought, Alina stormed toward him. People turned their heads as her footsteps echoed with fury. The man slowly looked up, confused by the sudden intensity approaching him, but before he could say a word, her hand struck his face with a loud, echoing slap that silenced the entire cafe. Gasps filled the air. "How could you do this to me?" Alina shouted, her voice trembling with heartbreak. The man blinked, stunned, his sharp blue eyes locking onto hers, not with anger, but with confusion. A red mark began to form on his cheek. He didn't react the way most men would. He didn't shout. He didn't grab her arm. Instead, he calmly stood up, straightened his suit, and said in a composed voice, "I think you've made a mistake." The world seemed to freeze. Alina's breath caught in her throat. She looked closer. Really looked this time. And that's when her heart dropped into her stomach. This wasn't her boyfriend. "Oh my God," she whispered, stepping back. I'm so sorry. I thought you were someone else." A few people chuckled. Others whispered. The embarrassment was unbearable. Her face flushed red as she turned to leave, wishing the ground would swallow her whole. But before she could escape, the man spoke again. "Wait." His voice was calm, yet powerful enough to stop her in her tracks. "You owe me a coffee," he said, a faint smirk forming on his lips. She turned slowly, confused. "What?" "You slapped me in front of an audience," he continued, sitting back down. "The least you can do is sit and explain why I deserved it." Despite everything, a small, reluctant smile tugged at her lips. There was something oddly charming about his confidence. Hesitant but curious, she sat down across from him. "My name is Alina," she said quietly. "Ethan," he replied, extending his hand. She shook it, still unsure how this situation had flipped so quickly. As they began talking, something unexpected happened. The tension dissolved. The anger faded. And in its place, was laughter. Alina told him everything, the betrayal, the message, the rush of emotions that led her to that impulsive slap. Ethan listened patiently, occasionally nodding, his eyes never leaving hers. There was no judgment in his gaze, only understanding. "Sounds like that guy lost something valuable," Ethan said softly. Alina looked down, her fingers tracing the edge of her cup. "Maybe. Or maybe I was just too blind to see the truth earlier." Ethan smiled. "Sometimes mistakes lead us exactly where we're supposed to be." She looked up at him, and for a brief moment, something shifted. Something deeper than attraction. A connection neither of them expected. Over the next few days, they kept meeting. What started as an apology coffee turned into long walks, late-night conversations, and shared laughter. Ethan was different. He wasn't trying to impress her. He didn't brag. He didn't flaunt anything. In fact, he seemed unusually private about his life. Alina liked that. She liked how he listened more than he spoke. How he remembered small details. How he made her feel seen, not for her beauty, but for her soul. But what she didn't know was that Ethan wasn't just an ordinary man. He was a millionaire. The owner of multiple companies. A man whose name appeared in business magazines. A man who could have had anyone, but chose to spend his time with a woman who slapped him on their first meeting. One evening, as they sat under the soft glow of city lights, Alina laughed and said, "You know, you still haven't told me what you do." Ethan leaned back, watching her with a thoughtful expression. "What if I told you? I'm just a man who got lucky after getting slapped." She rolled her eyes playfully. "Very funny." He smiled, but said nothing more. Days turned into weeks. And slowly, unknowingly, Alina fell in love. Not with his wealth. Not with his status. But with him. The man who remained calm when the world expected anger. The man who saw beauty in her broken moments. The man who turned her biggest mistake into the most beautiful chapter of her life. But secrets don't stay hidden forever. And when Alina finally discovers who Ethan truly is, will love still feel the same? Or will the truth change everything? If this story touched your heart and made you believe that even mistakes can lead to something beautiful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who believes in love against all odds. Because sometimes, the most unexpected moments create the most unforgettable stories.